Names. Morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
I have to get it for now. Well, Yehuda's Bas Shraga.
Today's learning is dedicated by Barry Steinberg in memory of his mother, Yehudis Bas
Shraga Feivel.
Shraga Feivel.
And I have another thing, but
Is your uncle?
this is a great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather.
I don't have. I'd have to look
Okay.
it up.
Excuse me 1 second. And in memory of Barry's great-grandfather, Avraham Abba Ben.
I have it in the,
Okay.
in the walker.
Avraham Ben Harvitz. The Neshama Shavan Aliyah.
Man.
Okay, we're learning Mishnah Yishkalim, Perek Vav, chapter 6, Mishnah Beis, Mishnah 2. Now, the previous Mishnah, we had learned that there were 13 spots where they used to bow down when they did their circuit around the Beis Hamikdash. And there were, according to the house of Gamliel and the house of Hananya, Skana Kohanim, they had a 14th place where they bowed down. And that was when they passed the Dir HaEtzim, the chamber of wood. The wood that was used on the Mizbech, on the altar, was stored. When they passed by there, they would bow down because they had the tradition that the Aron HaKodesh, that the Holy Ark, was buried under that chamber. Now, the next Mishnah is going to support that opinion. It's going to support that opinion that says that King Yoshio, in knowing that the Beis Hamikdash would be destroyed, had the Ark hidden, had the Aron hidden in underground chambers that King Solomon had prepared when he built the Beis Hamikdash to put the Aron there to be protected when the Beis Hamikdash would eventually be destroyed. Now, so the Mishnah says like this: Ma'aseh b'kohen echad. There was a story that took place with one Kohen, shoya misasek, that he was doing his business. What does that mean? That means he was in that wood chamber, and he was doing his job. What was his job? If a Kohen is a Baal Mum, if a Kohen has a physical defect, doesn't allow him to do the avodah, to do the service in the Beis Hamikdash, they gave him the job of checking the wood for worms. Any wood that was wormy couldn't be brought on the altar, couldn't be brought on the Mizbeach. So there was a Kohen who has a Baal Mum. He had a physical defect. He couldn't do the regular service in the Beis Hamikdash of bringing the sacrifices. And his job was to check the wood to make sure that the wormy wood would not go onto the altar. So he was, and this took place in the wood chamber. So there he was doing his job in the wood chamber. And he saw that the floor, or a tile on the floor, was different than the other ones. Notice something was different about one of them. And the way they explain it from the Bartanur is as follows. One tile was slightly higher than the others. When the Kohen saw this, he concluded that the tile had once been removed, because that's why it was higher than the other ones. Therefore, presumably, it was to hide the ark and then replaced. That's what he presumed. Now, they bring down an interesting comment from the commentary of the Tosfos Yontif. Now, although King Yoshio hid the ark while the first Beis Hamikdash was still standing, that's when he was the king, right? And this incident took place during the second Beis Hamikdash era. So, like, the first Beis Hamikdash was destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Yoshio hid the ark, by the first Beis Hamikdash.
Mm-hmm.
This takes place by the second Beis Hamikdash. So, how does the floor, how is the floor basically, you'd have to assume it's the same floor. So they say, the Tosfos Yontif says that although King Yoshio hid the ark while the first temple was still standing, and this incident took place during the second temple era, Apparently, the floor of the temple had not changed significantly since the times of King Yoshio. Despite the destruction of the first temple, the floor had remained intact. That means the floor remained intact for a while until the second Beis Hamikdash was built, and it was built on that same spot. Which, okay, that makes sense. But the point here is it has to be that the floor remained intact all those years to be able to now have the same floor that we say, well, that reason why that tile moved out of place, because it was taken out in order to put the ark down there. All right. Now, so after he noticed that, he went and he told his friend. He went and he told another Kohen, I noticed this tile on the floor, it's higher than the rest. That must mean that this tile was once removed. This may be, where the Aron is hidden. He didn't have a chance to finish what he wanted to say, which was where this tile was, until he died. Died on the spot. He was about to reveal where the ark was, and because of that, he died on the spot. The Yadu B'yichud, and that's how they knew for sure, Sheshamar Nigdas, that there was where the ark was hidden. So this is the support to that opinion that the Aron was hidden under the wood chamber, and that there should be a 14th bowing. Now, it's very interesting. I just thought about this when I was reviewing this. So what would you say, if you were, somebody came to tell you, this secret, then the guy, he had a heart attack, he died on the spot, right? So would you take that for sure as a sign that this is where the ark is? Clearly it's, it's interesting, right? But would you say it must be because of this? That's why he died. Would you say that? Or would you say, I don't know, maybe yeah, maybe not? I find it very interesting, right? That they took it without a question. It says B'yichud. They assumed with certainty that's where the ark was. If that there's no coincidences, and if this is how it happened, and it really lends itself to that, that's what we should assume, and not necessarily be so skeptical, right? Of saying, oh, we don't know about these things. I don't know, maybe yeah, maybe not. Who am I to know? Who am I to say? So it's very interesting that this happened, right? Makes a lot of sense to say that's why it happened, and that's what they assumed. Have a wonderful day, wonderful Shabbos.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi.